Hey folks, Quill18 here, and while we sit on the cusp of the release of SimCity 5, I want to take a chance to look at one of the other really good city simulators out there. It doesn't get as much press, but it's actually pretty nice. This is Cities Excel Platinum, which is basically the same thing as Cities Excel 2012 and then 2011 before that. While they get released kind of as their own edition or a new release, they're sort of really kind of expansions or DLCs one on top of the other. Now, the creators are actually quite nice in that if you own one of the previous versions, you can buy the upgraded one for something like 85% off. So for me to go from 2012 to this 2013 edition or whatever, this Platinum edition, cost me like $5. Actually, I might be getting the years wrong. It might be 2010, 2011, then Platinum? No, I don't know. Any case, one of the key differences between this and SimCity is that while I feel that historically the SimCity games have been very big on gameplay, you know, they're maybe a little challenging to play, that sort of thing. I have found that Cities Excel is not terribly hard to play. Maybe it's different when you get your cities quite large, and I've never really expanded my cities to a huge amount. But it seems to be relatively easy to come up with a halfway profitable town without too much effort. However, what I really like about it is that it allows you to build very beautiful cities. Now, things may change with SimCity 5 coming out, but with all the previous editions, including and up to 4, SimCity is very much just a grid-based game. I mean, they had sort of the rough idea of maybe some three-dimensional graphics, but in practice it was a very sort of laid out in a almost 2D type grid game. Whereas you can see here, I can easily build all kinds of curved roads, and the buildings are quite lovely and very 3D. And especially at this point, with all the sort of additions that have come out, where they just keep adding more and more buildings, there's a lot of variety in the landscape. And I love, like, they even have real-world advertising in the game, which, I mean, oh, we hate advertising in games, except in here, having some billboards kind of makes a lot of sense. This is my city hall over here. I've got a very small little commercial area over here, a drinks shop. This is some sort of steak grill, burger grill. There we go. And what do we have over here? Tasty Island. Maybe a grocery store. That's what it looks like. So I don't know. I think the game is really lovely, and it's always struck me as if you're the sort of person who likes to play a game as an artistic outlet, if you want to make beautiful and interesting cities, Cities Excel is actually probably your best pick. Even looking at SimCity 5, and even though it looks really lovely, the new version, it still strikes me that it's more of a game. SimCity 5 is more of a game, whereas Cities Excel is more of a city designer, city builder, and especially if when you start off normally in Cities Excel, you're limited into what you can build. Even here, I don't have the ability to build the sort of high-end buildings needed for executives and for elites. I can't build any manufacturing or high-tech buildings right now. That's because they will be unlocked until I reach a certain number of citizens. I have to hit 5,000 citizens, for example, to be able to start building a manufacturing industry. However, I can go into the options menu, and what that means is it sort of holds your hand so that you build up a city in a kind of a logical order. You can't build highways right away. The best you can do is this sort of 4-lane avenue. But later on, you'll be able to build these sort of raised highways with, you know, huge amounts of lanes that can carry tons and tons and tons of traffic. But if you really want to just do the creative thing, what you can do into the options menu, there's a cheats menu right there for you, for example. But in options and advanced, in miscellaneous, there's an expert mode you can toggle on, at which point all the buildings in the game are unlocked. Like games like SimCity, for example, you don't place the buildings yourself, you mostly just place lots. You don't really zone in this one, because you can place, it's called a zone, but it really comes down to like a lot kind of thing. You know, I put that down, and it put a sort of an apartment kind of complex, just a set of I don't know, 8 flats maybe in here. It's hard to tell. Actually, is this just one building, or just one house? Just one main door, but to me, no. And there we go. There's more doors here. In fact, even though this is a residential district that I'm putting down, it's housing. It's got a little pharmacy built in. And this house provides unskilled workers, but you're not drawing out sort of a big blob of green. You can deploy city areas very quickly, so that was a single zone. You can very easily build your sort of squarish kind of grid by laying it out like this very quickly. You get a whole bunch of zones put down easily. I quite like the free zone where you sort of draw kind of like this, and you can keep putting down kind of polygon points, and then it'll try to put together a kind of zone that works that way. The linear zone is actually kind of fun. At first I thought it was just a purely straight line, and it is kind of like that, but as you put down control points, it'll curve the road around nicely and actually let you make some cute little areas and connect up there. I do like the wide variety of roads available in this game. Actually, let me turn on the expert mode just to demonstrate some of the options that are available there. If I go into transportation and roads, and there's roads, fast lanes, bridges, public transport, inner city, so buses, subways, that sort of thing, or tubes. And in the roads, first of all, they go all the way down from small farm roads, little dirt road like that, very cute, very adorable, to sort of small paved roads, to regular roads, roads with, this is small grassy road. The font is rather small. I don't know how well it's going to show up on YouTube. This is a simple grassy road, as you can see here, with a little sidewalk, I guess, which is actually really, really quite nice. They also have roundabouts, so this is a small grassy roundabout, and it's a little weird to place them down because they only lock to certain types of roads. So this is just a road, and I think, actually, let's see. So this is small roundabout. Yeah, see, it'll snap there, but it won't snap here. So using the roundabouts is a little funny, and I know why. I mean, they sort of designed one type of roundabout, and it kind of only locks into road a certain way, so they've got to match up. Now, the small grassy roundabout will also lock to this. So this is your normal road, and so the normal roundabouts will work on that. There are also large roundabouts, so those won't snap to this, but I believe that they will snap to an avenue. So let's put that down and then grab the small avenue. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I'm actually not sure. Large avenue, there we go. That one snaps to it. And each one of these has a different traffic capacity. So the small avenue holds 60 cars a minute. The large uptown avenue is 80 cars a minute. And large avenue is also 80. And the roundabouts also have a limit. Actually, the roundabouts don't seem to. Luxurious avenue, so it's more expensive. And then finally, you've got expressways, 160 cars a minute, which I believe is an 8-lane highway here. 6 lanes. One of the things with the avenues, I find them a little weird because, oh no, they do have all the dash lines. There are, when you create your city, you get to choose from, I believe, 4 different road styles. Something like that. There's American, British, European, and is there something else? There's one that's just called default, and I don't know what default is, if that's the same as something else or what. I'm not sure. That might be the 4, or there might be a 4th type of like country or continent block. I'm not positive, but it does change which side of the road. So these seem to be the American roads, or maybe the default roads. The traffic is on the right-hand side, but if you change to the British roads, then people will drive on the other side of the road. So that's cute. There are also these packs over here of categories, so Americas and American residences, and the American ones, for example, are all these sort of coastal houses that are up on stilts. Well, actually, apparently I can stick them here, which I hadn't realized. But you can put these in the water, and I don't think this map has water, just rivers, yeah. So I can't really demo that, but they're up on stilts, so you can do like I don't know, Louisiana or something like that. Some of these coastal cities where you've got things. We've got big, huge power plant. Those are almost sort of like wonders type things, because I thought, oh, this is just residences, I see. And then we've got other types of buildings, blueprints for things like the Statue of Liberty, for example, landmarks and things which can help your what am I looking for? Tourism values, that sort of thing. So that was like the American pack, and there's quite a few things more, including terrain. You've got a European pack, with, again, more houses. Asian, so they probably have Asian roads of some kind. Chinatown-style roads, they say. We have a little, what is this, like a little pagoda or something? Yeah. And then Chinese residents. There you go. So you could do really interesting little districts and things like that with different flavors. We've got beach scenes, mountain buildings, so little lodges and things. In Europe, if we get out of the residences, or I want to see the blueprints, what do we have? The Colossus of Rhodes, Special Astronomy Observatory. Oh, we've got the Gherkin. Mega structure will take some hours to build, depending on how many tokens you choose. Oh, that's really interesting. So tokens actually brings us very nicely, segues very nicely into talking about the sort of world economy. So we're looking at one map here with one sort of a place for one city. Although sometimes I like to build these as a bunch of sort of connected towns on the same map, but they will be part of the same municipality. In terms of resource production. So for example, my farms here actually produce food resources. So if I open the food resource, you can see here there's food industry. It offers slightly more than is demanded, so the green tick is hovering towards the right. And as a result, because I have enough of it, I've got +1, I have an extra token, a food industry token. And you can use these to trade with other cities you build. For example, I believe that this map that I'm on doesn't have any oil. So right now the demand for fuel is already higher than what's on offer. It's not a problem yet because there's a certain amount of sort of passive supply, and at a certain point you can reach before there's a problem. Plus you can build early on this very basic utilities building, which gives you a little bit of electricity, water, fuel, and waste management sort of in one. And it's good to just get you started. Just plop it down somewhere, build your basic little town, and then you can replace these with proper landfills, with proper power generation, and all that sort of thing. But I don't believe this map, so if I go to fuel and I try to put down an extraction field, no, I do have some oil over here. It doesn't have tourism. But some maps, and a good example of a really high tourism map would be the one they call Paris, that looks kind of like the Paris territory. And it's very high tourism rating, but it doesn't have anything else. It has no fertile fields, it has no oil resources and anything like that. So you might be hard pressed to build a big metropolis there. You're not going to be able to attract some of the higher end industry without fuel. And also high-end industry will also impact your tourism. So what you'll want to do is build these little feeder cities like this one here first. We can make this a big agricultural town. And maybe the population overall will be quite low, but I'll set that up. I'll have lots of food. And then when I build another town, we'll be able to trade these tokens. And even if you don't produce any goods yourself, as long as you have money, you can trade money for goods between your towns. And I'm going to go ahead and pop out to the city map. So here's the trade, for example, and you can always trade with Omnicorp over here, which has an infinite amount of anything, and they can just trade you money. So you don't have to worry about min-maxing too much. You can sort of work things out that way. Blueprints, view up. What does the blueprints thing do? Oh, no mega structure here. So I haven't really gone that far into the game. Oh, back. There we are. So this will pop me out of my current city and show me the world. And if we cancel, if we scroll around the world here, you can see different continents, and every white dot is a city location. I think they all have unique maps. I haven't really poked around and checked. And they all have unique traits. So for example, the Grand Canyon. So we go there. Lots of fertile areas. For some reason, doesn't really attract tourism. This thing's kind of boring. Like, it's the middle of a desert. How is it fertile? I don't know. And it defaults to American roads. And then we'll look at something here. These are the Green Hills. Actually, they may all default to American roads until you change it. Rocky Island. And you can see the various traits change depending on the city. They even have different difficulty ratings. And you can sort these. You can search this way. We want to only show me the very difficult cities that have, let's say, a lot of tourism. So we've got Krakatoa, we've got the mountain, the Two Sisters. And so these are just sort of the names of the maps. And then once you've got that, you can create a city, you can call it anything you want, and then, yeah, let's take a look at those roads. Come on. American, English, French, German, and default roads. There we go. So quite a lot of style, and you really have a lot of opportunity to be very, very kind of artistic in how you create things. And I think it's a lovely game. quite nice to play. Again, if you're a creative sort, you can build. You should see the sort of screenshots that people do. It's really incredible. Oh yeah, you can filter the world map by various tokens and things like that, and set up trades from this view as well. Anyway, that is my quick look at Cities XL, and hopefully the SimCity 5 beta is done downloading in background, so I want to play. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.